Okay, so hopefully y'all can hear me. Hopefully. Alright, so basically I'm here to tell these stories about when I used to work in the kitchen, and I'm gonna try as hard as I can to talk and play this game at the same time because this is my first time doing this. But when first off, let me tell you about all the flexing. Oh, hold on. Oh.
No talk.
Hey, real quick, can you just tell me if you can do the wait, hold on. Okay. No, no, I'm saying so like when I push hold on. Okay, can you hear me talking like through
Okay,
this like
time to
is the
play
game
fun
volume
and
too loud or what?
geriatric professor. You know, the one that isn't in the helicopter. For the love of all that is good, stop
It's
shouting.
fine?
These dead fucks better not get to Franco before I do.
Yeah, but can you hear me like clearly? Like okay. Alright. Alright, so first off, I wasn't always I wasn't always the popular person or none of that. You know, so like when I got out of school and got straight to working, first off, I was a dishwasher at a hotel, and this was like one of the fancy hotels. We ain't talking about one of the rinky dinks. So I had I started off as a dishwasher, and
I see you've made contact
I
with
didn't.
Ivanov.
I wasn't expecting myself to be a, you know, a cook, a chef, or none of that. I just wanted to go in, just wash dishes. Didn't even know what I wanted to do.
As far as I'm concerned, he's
So,
the real price.
when I first started working the night shift, it was, I mean, like, it was fine at first. You know, I just went in, washed dishes. You know, really didn't, you know, pay no attention to no cooking, no nothing.
Double point.
Now the chef that I was working for, yeah, I mean, rest in peace. Now, I mean, he died 2 years ago, but this was the first, of course, the first chef that I ever worked for. And
Gonna pick this
I mean, at first, like, you know, he was
This is mine now.
an ass at first. I ain't gonna lie, but he was the one that if he was real hard on you, you know, like, he seen something in you. So, you know, like, I barely seen them throughout the day anyway, or throughout the night, because he will always leave in the evening time. So it would be me, one cook, and then be me, one cook, be a room service person, and like, that's it. Now we had something going on that night.
How much these nerds hate you.
If we had something going on that night, then of course,
Than have you along.
Yeah, well, what can I
Hold
say?
on.
It's lonely at the top.
so of course, you know, it would just be 3 people at night. But if we had something going on, it was,
Max.
you know, you'll have like a couple banquet people. So okay, that's cool and everything. But you know, like I said, I really wasn't paying attention to no type of cooking or nothing like that. And I would never forget, you know, me just being a dishwasher. I had you know, I used to leave the kitchen and I used to go like down the street and I used to get me, you know, something to eat, because this one, I'm gonna try not to say real names either, but this one guy that we had, we gonna call him Derek. This dude, he went by the book. He didn't never take no shortcuts. And when I tell you, like, he was strict, like, I mean, like, what you want me to do? Like, I can't cook, you know.
Congratulations.
I don't know nothing about cooking on the grill, none of that.
Experiences ever.
But he was used to always ask me, like, to come over and, like, do stuff for him. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing.
It pissed you off,
But
I'm
I would
getting
never
more
forget
than you ever will.
this one time when
Just that you're popular
the
with
chef
those
came
friends
around
like us.
and he sat there
I just need to know you'll still have my
and
back.
he was giving out like new chef jackets. And
Tear them to pieces.
and like everybody had got 2 jackets apiece. Like he even gave me one. I don't know why, because you know I wasn't doing no cooking. So I'll never forget.
Shit.
He went
Start messing around.
he went straight to Derek and told him. He went straight to Derek and told him, he was like, look, these are brand new chef jackets. I'm gonna need you to take your jacket and throw it in trash. I mean, this dude's jacket was so brown, and come to find out, he had so many cats. This man told me he had like
Dick. I've worked with some proper ugly SOBs, but
Yeah, like
fucking
8 cats or
beauty
something like
queens
that.
next to you.
And I'm like, dude, come on now. Well, hold on. Okay, so this dude had like 8 cats, and when I tell you that, you know, like when he walked up close to you, he stunk so bad. I mean, you could actually like smell the piss. Like, I'm not even lying. And I will also never forget.
I'm still sussing everyone out.
This man was cutting. This man was cutting up sausage,
I'm sure he'll be
and he ended up.
right up until the point you make his throat.
He was cutting up sausage. Oh my god. This man was cutting up sausage and ended up like rolling the knife off of the sausage and ended up cutting himself. And I'm like, and that's my first time ever seeing somebody getting cut. So I'm over here like, bro, you alright? This man sat here and told me that he was fine, and I was like, well, do you need to go to the hospital? And he like, nah. He went ahead and just bandaged it right back up. And when I tell you, like, all you seen was like this right here, like some of this was cut off. I'm like, bro, what? Like, I've never seen nothing like that. So Derek, I mean, of course he was a character, and like he would just come in with his loafers on, with a t-shirt tucked in, with some slacks on, and like basically get dressed in the kitchen. Bruh, we got food on the line, and you just like slinging all that cat piss like on the food. Like, I mean, like, I can't make this up. Man was slinging cat piss or cat crop dust piss all over the food. So I really don't have I really don't have nothing, you know, like to say about him. He was just, I don't know, he was ridiculous.
Don't suppose Uncle Sam gives out medals for marksmanship.
Oh,
I didn't say
this one guy in the night shift that I used to work with as a dishwasher on Fridays and Saturday nights, we gonna call him, we're gonna call him Justin. Now, this man was, I mean, he was cool, you know. I didn't have no beef with him or nothing like that. They had no type of beef. And Fridays and Saturday nights, you know, everybody, including the banquet servers, like, you know, we had at least Friday, Saturday night, we had at least like 25, 30 banquet servers, you know, like working.
Businesswoman, but you know,
and I mean, like, it was real busy. But we would have the dish table, which was like real long. We had the dish table, then we had 2 tables right behind us. And when we talk about, like, we talking about a banquet of like 600-700 people, dishes slam packed. You know, like, everybody's trying to hurry up and get out of there. We there till like 11-12 a.m. Now, me, of course, there would be like, you know, showers downstairs, all that. You know, we used to be like, all right, well, you gonna go home, and, you know, it'd be like 20 of us that was finna go out downtown, because we worked downtown. And we would sit there and ask each other, hey, like, you know, are you finna go all the way back home? And, you know, are you gonna change, or, you know, you gonna change here? And some people would just like bump it, you know, I'm gonna change here, I'm gonna take a shower here, blah blah blah. Well, me, I would always go, you know, I would go back home. I would go back home, and, you know, I would change. So I'll never forget this one particular night.
Bonus points.
I said, hey, look, I'm gonna text you, because we were gonna go to this club called Bugatti. I would never forget this club. And, you know, we went to this club, you know, like I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you know when I'm finna leave the house. So it's like 12:15. I'm just now getting in the car because I don't know where this place is. I'm just now getting in the car. I'm telling this dude, hey man, look, you know, I'm finna leave, like, you know, where you at? This man sat here and told me, oh man, I'm finna pull up in your driveway and beat your meat. Bro. What the fuck? I mean, this was like my first time ever. This is like my first time ever like having somebody say some bullshit like this to me. Mind you, I'm like 18, 19. This dude gotta be at least like 20. He like 24, 25, something like that. So, of course, you know, I ended up still going out because there was like 20, 25 other people going out. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So, you know, I get there, and, you know, I'm talking to the other people, but, you know, I'm trying to stay my distance away from, you know, the other dude. I'm like, okay, whatever.
So yeah, you could say that.
Next day, we coming to work. You know, I'm over here telling the sous chef. I'm like, hey man, look, you know, I gotta tell you something, but, you know, like, you can't tell nobody. So he like, hey, what's up? So I went ahead. Now, if I said I called him, sorry, my bad. I didn't call him. I texted him. So I ended up showing him the text message, and like his jaw just dropped because, I mean, he can't believe it. I told him, I said I couldn't believe it either. And, you know, like, I ended up telling somebody else. And then next thing you know, what's the name I gave him? I forgot the name I gave him. But whatever the dude that said that he was gonna come and pull up, he ended up telling somebody like how drunk he was that night, blah blah blah. He don't remember. Bruh, you gonna remember what you told somebody. So I'm over here telling people blah blah blah, and, you know, like, they couldn't believe it either. But my whole thing is this: after I told that last person, I told at least like 10 people, because, I mean, really, I mean, you wouldn't believe me either if I didn't show you. So I ended up telling him. He ended up denying it. But then he gonna deny it. But then when the next crew came in and they wanted to see the receipts, bro, I already got rid of it. I already, you know, deleted everything. But these people are over here telling the other people that haven't seen it, he did say that. So it's like he kept denying it. You know, the people that didn't see the receipts, you know, he kept denying it, and, you know, he called me a liar for like at least 2 weeks. Until I had to go to Sprint. I went this far. I went to Sprint to go get the transcript. Came back in and showed the other people that didn't believe me. So I ended up showing them. And they were like, oh man, you know, I can't believe he said that. Blah, blah, blah. I'm over here like, what I gotta lie for? What am I gonna lie for about another nigga coming up to me, or another nigga telling me that he finna pull up and beat my meat? What kind of shit is that? I mean, like, who would lie about something like that? So, and like, this dude, like, I swear, he had like one of those, you know, like, he had a zesty voice.
Max.
But I didn't never hold that against him because that's not me. You know, I don't care if you gay, straight, bi. I don't care about none of that. But just don't come that way, you know, like, towards me and all that. So, for the longest, he ain't talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. let's say you know, the people that were just non-believers, then they finally wanted to go ahead and, you know, they want to be buddy, blah, blah, blah. All the, nah, man, it's too late. So, I say like no more than like a month or two after that whole situation. Mind you, I was still working a night shift. They moved him to the morning shift for some reason. They moved him to the morning shift, but he ended up quitting. But his reasoning for quitting was the job was too hard. Washing dishes was too hard. Okay, alright. You quit because you lied and everybody was on your ass. That's why you quit. So this is when I started working morning shifts now. So I would have to be there at, I think it was like 7-8 o'clock a.m. like to wash dishes or whatever. And I really didn't know anybody from like the morning shift. Didn't know anybody from the morning shift. And they were trying to figure out who I was too. There was, let's see, there was one cook on the line. Once again, I'm trying not to reveal no names. So there was one cook on the line. There was like 6, what you call it? There was one cook on the line. Then you had 6 banquet cooks. Just me as a dishwasher. Then you had the chef there and the sous chef in the morning. Then you had a room service person. Am I missing anybody? So yeah, I'm not missing nobody. So it would be like, you know, slam packed in the morning. Just this is when everybody, you know, would come in and, you know, like basically like get everything done for the day. When I tell you it was slam packed in there, it was like busy. So I would, you know, I'll be washing dishes and, you know, like I said, really, oh, sorry, there was an omelet station person. So when I tell you, like, nobody knew me, like, nobody. You know, nobody knew how I worked. Nobody knew me. You know, so, you know, they just see me as like, you know, just a kid, probably BSing and, you know, really ain't doing anything. So
Good thing we get a 5-finger discount.
It's getting too quiet around here anyway.
I'm dead.
I swear to fucking go off on that one. Today's special, 2-headed octopus adobo with legs.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Alright, so like, didn't nobody know me? Nobody knew me. So, you know, of course they gonna sit there and they just gonna be like, oh man, you know, he just here just because. But then after a while, working the morning shift, and then they started realizing, oh man, like, you know, he the truth, you know,
rancid spinach without sacrificing,
you know, like, he the truth, blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Then they want to start respecting me, and it was mainly older people too. And I say old people, we talking about late 50s, early 60s. So, you know, and it was one particular dude, man, I couldn't stand him. I really couldn't. And we gonna call his old ass Otis, because that's exactly how he acted. This man would sit here and he'll try to, you know, like, now mind you, he was just a cook at first. This man was just a cook, and he would sit here and like try to, you know, like make himself look like he busy. He'll try to sit there and downplay you, do all this other stuff. And we like, bruh, don't nobody care about what the hell you got going on. Nobody cared. And nobody cared. And like, when I tell you like, he would just make himself look like that he just top notch.
Think that gave a wedgie?
This dude was not top notch. I mean, this dude would get like 2 orders, and like he already be running around and shit. And I'm like, bro, man, come on, man, like, really? So, like, this man would just like be running around the kitchen, ain't doing shit. But let's fast forward, cause we're gonna get back to Otis in a minute. Let's fast forward to when
swear this takes longer
when they didn't have enough cooks or nothing like that. So
okay, I do care.
So I would never forget.
Was that
Oh my
so hard?
god.
You don't always need to be such a massive twat.
So we didn't have enough cooks. And when I say we didn't have enough cooks, I'm talking about like omelet cooks. So I'll never forget, my first thing cooking in that kitchen was
Can he type?
Was I got put on the omelet station. And when I tell you, like, I was watching YouTube tutorials on like how to flip an omelet, because I never made an omelet. Never a day in my life. But then like I started getting the hang of it, and that was one of my other spots that I worked at. You know, I was on the omelet station for at least like designated on the omelet station. I was on the omelet station for at least like, I want to say like 4 or 5 months. So you know, like, I'll be on the omelet station, but if you were the omelet station, you were supposed to come in at like 5 a.m. But me, I was coming in at like 2:30. The latest for me would be, you know, of course, 5 o'clock. But the latest for me would be, I was coming in at like 3:30. Because you had to set up the omelet station. You had to make sure whoever was working, you had to make sure that it was all set up. And you had to make sure it was all set up. Because if you backed up on the omelet station, you weren't going to make it throughout the day. You weren't going to make it. And we served breakfast from 6, I want to say 6 to 10. I think it was 6 to 10. So, you know, we were serving from 6 to 10, but like, you know, we might have BMW Group come in, we might have Michelin, you might have Bosch, you might have all these groups coming in early in the morning, want omelets. And you might just think, oh, you just making omelets. It ain't that simple, because you might have somebody that, you know, might be difficult, and they might want to sit there and get everything in it, which everything in it was spinach, mushrooms, tomatoes, we had jalapeno peppers, you had sausage, diced ham, what else? I want to say that's about it. But you have somebody that wants everything in it. But my whole thing is, you doing that, and you only got 2 burners on top of that. You might have 20 people already walking in. You might have 20 people already walking in, you know, all up in your ass about an omelet. So, you come in, get your ass whooped on the omelet station. And y'all gotta excuse me with the coughing, you know, cause I just got over the Rona, but you know, you have people coming in up your ass by the omelet, and you know, I want this, I want that. You be having people coming in doing difficult, you know, orders, talking about I want a meat lover's omelet. Man, just tell me what you want in the omelet and just keep it moving. Like this whole meat lovers, the veggie omelet. You tell me you want a veggie omelet, but you don't want those. But when I make it, then when you see spinach in it, then you say, "Oh, I meant to say I don't want no spinach." So now I gotta waste my time. Now I gotta put your omelet in the back burner, and then I gotta go ahead and, you know, get these other 6, the 8 people that stand in line. So, what is this? So my whole thing is, you know, the omelet station, I mean, it was like pretty easy to me. I really wasn't phased with the whole omelet station, you know, thing. That was just pretty simple. The only thing that fazed me in that whole kitchen was actually working the line. It only took me a week to learn. Now, you might be saying, you know, how hard can the line be? If you didn't get in at 1:30 a.m. or 2 a.m., you already fucked. Like, your day was already done. They expect you to come in at 5 a.m. and they already want you to get grits, oatmeal, French toast, and cook some eggs. If we had a group coming in, you would have to make the banquet food for them. They want you to cook some eggs, sausage, bacon, and you still had to get your line set up. Now, we had 2 coolers. Then you had the hot well in the middle. Then you had your salad station over there on the right hand side. They expect you to do all this in an hour. And if you had to cook banquet food, that was going to take another 30 minutes. So by that time, you wasn't even, like, you was already done for in the kitchen. You was already done for. So my whole thing was, I started coming in early. But
I'll
once,
tell you the same thing.
but once everybody got in there,
UTI.
you know, we'll have like 2-3 other people getting in there.
For another day.
You know, once you had like a couple people getting in there,
There'll be no rest till Asheville.
like they'll be asking you like, what time did you get in? Blah blah blah, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I got here like at 2:30, 3 o'clock.
See?
And
I'm hungry if you don't have a
they'll be
head.
sitting there trying to figure out like, why'd you come in so early, bro? You had, I mean, you literally had to do at least, no lie, I mean, it had to be at least like 30 things, at least. So my whole thing is, I would be done with all that, and I'd be chilling on the line just waiting for orders. And really, if you working the line, you went like you wasn't getting no orders. You wasn't getting no orders out in the dining room, because they was ordering like omelets, or you know, you wasn't getting no room service orders either. So, oh my god. So, you know, I would just sit there and I would just be chilling. But the moment you start, oh, I forgot about the coffee shop stuff. The coffee shop stuff, it didn't matter who worked the line. But if you worked the line, you were supposed to be doing coffee shop stuff too. I'll be on the omelet station, and they'll still be making me do the coffee shop stuff. Now the coffee shop stuff was, you had 2 types of quiche. So you had 2 types of quiche. Then you'll have like, let's try to get out of here. So you have 2 types of quiche. You have spinach and feta. Then you have ham and feta. So you had to make that. You have pecan tarts. You got pecan tarts. Then you got, what's the other one? Then you had granola cereal. You had granola bars. And you had to, and like I had to keep up with all that. Nobody else had to keep up with that. Had to keep up with all of that. So, you know, the chef would want me to do, you know, he'll want me to do a certain amount. Like, he'll want me to do like 10, 15 pecan tarts. He'll tell me to do like 8 of each quiche, because it only lasts like 3 days. Like, it had a 3-day shelf life. My whole thing was, I ain't doing that, because they say, you know, if I'm in the, you know, if I'm getting my ass whooped, you know, if I'm getting my ass whooped doing omelets, or if I'm getting my ass whooped doing anything else, man, I'm not, like, I'm finna sit here and do a bulk pack and just hope that they all sell. So, so my whole thing was, I would go ahead and try to get all that done like in the middle of my shift, but it would have to be like during my break, and we used to have like a 2-hour break. So my whole thing was, if I can get through the breakfast shift, and you had to do 7 soups. You had to do clam chowder, New England clam chowder. Then you had to do lemon pepper rice. Yeah, I know it sounds nasty, but you know, lemon pepper rice, chicken noodle soup. Then you had, oh my god. Then you had veggie soup. Then you had like 2 other soups that you had to do. But the beef and it was like beef and something else. But you had to do 7 soups. In, you know, like you had to do 7 soups. And chili. You had to do 7 soups. You know, but if you cook the soup, you know, like that day, guess what? You're already behind. So on Monday, since Mondays was technically like my slow days, I would just go ahead. How's the gun not shooting? I would just go ahead and just do all the soups and just say bump it. So I went ahead, did all the soups. You used to have to make cheese bread every day, and lunch started at what, 12:30?
Where'd your head go?
So by the time 10 o'clock came and we were like technically closed, because we were, getting everything else ready. I mean, like, I was already done with everything. But what they used to make me do is they would want me to come over to the banquet side. Mind you, I already got my ass whooped early this morning doing all that other stuff. They used to want me to come over to the banquet side and help them. There'll be 8 people over there. They want me to come over there and help them do they shit. I got my own shit over here to be doing. So I had to come over there, bail a couple people out, and then I would have to, then basically, after that, I was, I was home free. Because if you're staying around in the kitchen, and this is just strictly fine dining. If you staying around in the kitchen, guess what? You're already, you already set yourself up. You already set yourself up to either get yelled at or, some extra work coming your way. But see, with me, I might not be standing around, and I'm still over here getting asked to do shit on top of my work. So I think there was just a period of time when I was just, I don't know how long I was working the line, but it really wasn't even that long. I was on the line for like at least the remainder of the 6 years I was working there, like on and off. So I'll be working the line, Sundays, work 5 days a week. I work the line like 3 of those days out of like the 5. So when they put me over to the banquet side, basically which was the prep side, they put me over there with the prep side. I'm like, okay, like prepping is like one of the most easiest things you can probably ever do in the kitchen. Like, so easy. So when they put me over to the prep side, my list would be this long, probably even longer. My list would be this long. You had the other 6 people list be about like, it was like this long. Wouldn't even be that long. And I'm like, so I walk in, I'll be like, okay, whatever, fuck it. And you prep people, they come in at like 6:30. So when I first started working, the chef was like, hey, just come in at your scheduled time. Because, it's just prep. Well, you might think just prep. Like, just prepping for like 8 hours, you might think that like that's not hard. It's not hard, but when you gotta do all this other shit, mind you, had to do the coffee shop shit too. Now mind you, had to go over there and do the coffee shop stuff. But when I'm done with my long ass list that got at least 10-15 things on it, I gotta come over here and bail somebody out. They got like 4 or 5 things on it. And yes, it might be intricate work. It might be that type of work where it's like, where it's like real tedious. I get it. But how many breaks are you going to take in that 8 hours? And, how many breaks you going to take? I did not want this.
Sentry turrets live.
How many breaks you gonna take? So, but then when they do it, it's fine. when I go take a break, is where's Anthony at? Where's he at? You know, like I'm trying to chill out. You know, because I'm halfway done my work. So, you know, I might go duck off somewhere. I might start at like 7 a.m. I might go duck off somewhere at like 12:30 because your shift is only supposed to last till like 2:30, 3 o'clock. You know, I mean, like, you know, like you might get lucky. So my whole thing was, okay, sorry, I'm over here getting flustered right now. So my whole thing was, you know, I would wait. You know, like, I would wait until, you know, like, I'm, like, halfway done my list, and I'll go take a break. But then, like, when I come back 5 minutes later versus this person that took a 30-minute break, you expect me to go over here, and you expect me to, you know, hop over here and help this person, but they over here slacking. And like, I really never understood that. So I'm dead.
Equinota calling for a chopper gun.
Nah, so basically, I mean, crazy things I seen in the kitchen, we just gonna get right to it. We had this one dishwasher named Don. And this dude, like, when I tell you he was off the chain. Like, I mean, he was funny and everything, but he used to come in with, like, you know, he used to come in with the damn Captain D's outfit, you know, the whole, like, fisherman outfit. This man would come in, you know, had the yellow outfit, you know, had the yellow raincoat on, all this, you know, he finna make it rain in the dish pit. Now, when I tell you that this one particular day, and like every dishwasher we had, I swear, every temp dishwasher we had, it was either coming from a halfway house or they was either on drugs. Like, you know, it was like one or the other. And I could just tell that this dude was like on some heavy shit this day, but I mean, I really couldn't pinpoint it. This dude was on some heavy stuff. And when I tell you that I went ahead and, you know, was driving home, I ended up getting a phone call from the chef, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I'm gonna need you to turn back around." I'm like, all right, you know, like, whatever. So, you know, I end up coming back to work, but to park the car in the garage, you would have to, you know, like, you would have to go past this loading dock. I'm going past the loading dock, man, but I see like a couple police cars. I'm like, you know, like, what the hell going on? So, you know, I park the car and I get out and I see the dishwasher standing right there, and he's just, you know, like, this man is butt ass naked. And I'm sitting here like, what the hell's going on? So, you know, I'm trying to walk in, and all I hear this dude say is, you know, the cop's trying to tell him, like, to get off the ledge. Now the ledge probably comes up to probably like up to right here, like up to my chest. So you're looking at the ledge and it's like right here. This man is standing on the ledge, sits there and looks at the chef dead in his face and was like, "Oh, you want to see something?" That man just falls face first, like just face first on the concrete, just like no emotion or nothing. He gets back up, goes up the 3 steps, gets back on the ledge, and asks him, "Do you want to see it again?" Then just proceeds just to fall again. After that, the cops just seen enough. And, you know, I walk in, everybody's like, "Oh man, Ed, man, like, where you been at? Blah, blah, blah." You know, like, you missed it. I'm like, well, what the hell did I miss? They basically telling me that this dude went to the ice machine that was around the corner where the dish pit was and opened up the ice machine, started to strip, and basically just like stuck his meat in the ice machine and just like, you know, was just trying to like, you know, I guess cool down, or I don't know what he was doing. But they just said that he just stuck his meat in the ice machine and, you know, like, that's it. I wish I could make this shit up, but I mean, that right there probably had to been the most craziest thing like that like I've ever seen working in the kitchen. I have never heard or seen anything like that.
Anyone else
So
want to run through a brick
I'm
wall?
sorry, I can't play zombies and talk at the same time. This is like, I can't do it. But I would never forget. Like, that's just